what's up everybody, and welcome back to Voices. In today's video we are doing part 1 of a part 2 summer makeup special effects thing. I really like doing these, so we're going to continue to do them. So I feel like the zombie effect went pretty well. I definitely have some techniques and stuff I need to practice and get down, as well as continuing to practice obviously to make them. But my look for the next 2 videos is going to be sort of like a I guess like a dark mermaid. So summary, it's theme appropriate for the season. And if you follow me on social medias, Twitter and Facebook, you'll notice that I am a really big fan of supporting like small creators and small businesses. So I tried really hard to see if I could find some creators and just buy some scales that are prosthetics to put onto my face that have like a 3D kind of bumpy look to them. Unfortunately, I don't have $40 to $70 or more to spend on like 4 scales for my face. I don't have the budget to do something like that, least of all, like, I don't even know if I'd be able to use them again. So I thought, well, I'll just make my own. I really liked kind of experimenting with the prosthetic last time and using the liquid latex and stuff. So I thought, well, I'll just try to make my own. So I did look for molds that are specifically designed for making either latex or silicone molds for things like that. And unfortunately, those are also very ridiculously expensive. So Amazon had fondant scales for cakes. I had them in large, medium, and small, which are perfect because I'm going to use a little bit of all of them. And they're quite thick. They're probably like, I don't know if it's, you can tell on camera, but they're like, probably like, I would say maybe a little bit less than an inch thick. But they're made for icing, fondant icing. And so I'm going to attempt what I'm going to call like a cookie cutter method first. So I'm going to take this container, I'm going to fill it with these solutions, and then I'm going to use this sharp thing to kind of get out my shapes that I need to put on my face. So these are silicone rubber. It's a part 1 and a part B, so it's the 2 things that you have to put together. So these weren't horribly expensive. They're 10.58 ounces in both bottles. And I think I got them on Amazon for, I want to say between $23, $27. I can't remember exactly. Of course, I'll link it below. And essentially it's one part. So for every one, it's 1. So before I wanted to mess anything up and I needed to figure out like how deep I needed this container to be, what I did was I took my tablespoon measuring cup and I assumed 3 tablespoons per bottle, so 6 tablespoons total, and it filled this up enough that's about half the size of these, or half the depth of these. So and then I poured it out and dried everything out. So I think that's probably going to be pretty good. So I'm going to be doing that as part 1, and I'm also going to be working on my crown. I actually posted this in a story a little while ago asking if anybody wanted to take a guess what my next effect was going to be. But yeah, so I think it looks very oceany. These are very like kind of beachy. And I got some navy blue netting, like actual fish netting, not like the kind you wear. And then Rick has a 3D printer, so he 3D printed me a couple of different types of shells that are really cute that I'm going to paint and kind of spruce up as well. And that's going to be, as far as like the creating, and then the end of it will be, I'm gonna, if I can find affordable ones, because stuff is so expensive, I'm hopefully gonna do some effects with my mouth. I'm gonna add blood and makeup and stuff like that, and I'll have a final look together. So, we'll see how the videos get divided, because this takes 12 to 24 hours, depending on the room temperature and the thickness. The surface may feel a little sticky, which is normal. If it's sticky on the surface, extend the curing time. Okay, so If it's not completely done, that's actually kind of okay because we want our molds to kind of work. So I'm not sure exactly how. We may be able to get everything except the scales done, and then the scales and the makeup look together may be like the final. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I think that's everything. I think I touched on everything. I have a couple different types of teal. I don't know if we've discussed this or not. Teal is my absolute favorite color in the whole wide world. So when I think mermaids, I think blues and greens. It's just always been what I've always thought. I have a phenomenal blue and green eyeshadow palette and phenomenal blue lips things that I really want to use, and I don't have the balls to wear them in public, so it'll give me an excuse to use those as well. So I have just a regular teal acrylic paint. I'm trying to see where you can see it better, probably here. This is a metallic teal blue. This is a little more blue than it is green. And this is also a metallic. I'm not sure where we're going to go with it. We'll see. And then I've got white if I want to lighten some of it up. And then I did grab my eyeshadow palettes that I've been using for my effects, mostly because they have like a white shimmer. Yeah, there's like a white shimmer in this one, like a black shimmer in this one, and I may dust that over the final product for the shells and the scales as well. Just to see, just add a little extra something. I was thinking about adding blood to the netting, but the netting is a navy blue. It's very dark. I don't feel like you're going to be able to see it, so I'm going to use blood for other things, but I'm probably not going to use it on that. So I guess we will start with our mixture, because all I have to do is dump it right now. It's not going to be that exciting. Okay, so part A and part B. Cool. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything else. Yeah, okay. So we're all mixed up here. Just gonna go through one more time. Ew. All right, I'm gonna set that over there. That's perfect. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's just like this milky texture. I did that to knock out some of the bubbles. I created the bubbles when I did what I did with the mixing it, but that got rid of almost all of them. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna set that to the side and not touch it forever. I think next I'll do my shells, and then while they dry, I can work on my netting. So I have I don't know all my shells. I have a regular shell, a conch shell maybe. Maybe this is I don't know. I have 3 different types of shells. Is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to paint these. I'm like out of it, I think. Okay. I don't know about this, because this may be, I'm not going to dump it out though, this one. I'm just going to let it hang out. I'm just going to put a dollop of white in case I decide I want to like, just lighten. I got silicone shit all over it. Whoops. Okay. So I painted I painted most of all 3 of them. The good thing about using acrylic paint is that it dries really fast. So While that's drying, I do have the fan on because it's very warm in this room in the summertime. This is like that, you know, how, like every place you live has like that one room that's either super cold in the winter or super hot in the summer. This is that room, go figure. So I do have the fan on, which I actually normally do anyway when I'm doing acrylic because it usually, well, it makes it dry faster. And I'm in Patient Beach. I'm gonna put a cap on this and let it chill out over there for a minute. I did a combination of the teals. They're a lot different together than I thought they would be, but I think they're gonna be really pretty. So I'm gonna tell you a quick story about this because it's super irritating. So this paint that I got, I ordered off Amazon, and I'm one of those people that doesn't take the time to look and see how much or what size something actually is. I thought this was like a chunky container of teal metallic-y kind of paint. And I need teal paint because I use it so much because it's my favorite color. So I got it and I paid, God, I don't even know. I'm gonna find out. I got it off Amazon. And don't get me wrong, totally my fault, but I'm still mad about it. Because I was like, who in their right mind would pay for something, like, would pay this much for some paint? I'm about to tell you how much I paid for it. It's sad is what it is. Damn, I'll see it on here. What's it called? Prima Marketing Art. Alchemy. It looks like a big ass container. It's not. When I bought it, it was like $10. Yeah. So $10 for 1.7 ounces, or $6 for, what did I say this was? 1.7, yeah. So, or $7 for 8. Never again. It's my own fault. I'm still mad about it. All right, so let's see what we can accomplish with this netting. It's very pretty. I like it. It's like a dark gray blue. So full disclosure, I have no idea what I'm doing with this. I'm super pumped about my little crown though. It's very like, it's heavy. It's a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. The Macabre market that I go to periodically, it's a monthly event. And they have all these people that hand make all these really cool things. I'm sure I've talked about it before. I share the art from people I found on there all the time. So there's this, and I can't remember the name of the company, but she or they, I can't remember, it's like a group of people, I can't remember, but they make like handmade, really over the top crowns, and they're fucking stunning. I personally can't afford $600 for a crown, but if I could, they've got some stunning ones. They have some that are mermaidy. They have some that are just kind of gothic. They're beautiful though, and they're very well done. And I'm sure they are more than worth their price. I just can't do it. Okay, so this is a mess. Okay, it's just, oh God. I feel like, I guess I need to decide where I want the front to be. But there's not like a, there's bobby pins on each, or bobby pin holders in 4 areas, which should probably be like right there. So let's just say this is the front. I'll make a decision. So I want some of it to kind of like drape onto it. I don't want it to be overwhelming. I just want it to add like a little oomphy to it, I guess, is what I'm trying to go for here. So if I take some and maybe stretch it kind of like across the top of it. Yeah, that's edgy. I like it. Oh, it needs to be tighter than that though, bitches. I don't want it like hanging out. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. Just set that over there. Then I'm going to take the pieces that I cut, and I'm going to hot glue them down with my handy dandy glue gun. Fun fact, glue guns are hot, so don't touch things, with your bare hands if you can avoid it. And then I'm going to take this other one that I have right here, and I'm going to, no, stay where you are, bitch. So hot glue is one of those things when you're making stuff that is so helpful, but it's such a nightmare sometimes. Okay, so maybe we just wrap all of it together. There we go. Okay, some hot gluing my little chunky pieces down, because you definitely, you don't want that part. You don't want to be like wearing it or doing something and then it like falls apart. So, Okay, I'm gonna use my scissors to push it down. Get all these little spideries off of there. All right, cool. So this is what I have. Which way? It's probably better with it. So the next thing I want to do, because I don't want all those pieces hanging per se, is I'm going to clean that up. So I'm just going to take like this piece here, and there's a piece hanging here, and I'm going to fold those up so that they aren't, falling and looking not perfect, because that would be perfect for a look that is this involved, I guess. I don't know. There we go. Okay. All right, so that piece is up. So now I just need to focus on these pieces. There's some stragglers here and here. So I'm gonna pull those up out of here, ball them up, do my best to tuck them. All right, so that's my netting. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just trying to make sure there's not any other areas. I think that'd be good. So I'm gonna set that over there for now. And I'm gonna paint my seashells some more. One of them is probably good. I am gonna have to repaint one of them though. And then the other one I didn't get to finish because it was covered in paint. It's totally not later in the day because I got interrupted. So we're going to start back in fixing up our seashells. So the good thing is well, because I did get interrupted, my seashells are completely dry and good to go. My mold stufferino is really close. It said 12 to 24 hours, so I'm really surprised. There's some parts of it that are still wet. I'm tempted to just do something else with it, or to go ahead and try, because like this part is like super solid. We'll see how I feel in a few minutes. Okay, but first we're going to spruce up our seashells because they're boring. They're beautiful, but they're boring. Ugh. So what I was trying to do before was add like a white shimmer to the lighter colored one, because this is like a blue, like a light blue color, like teal rather. So what I'm gonna do is spray some primer spray stuff, kind of wet it a little bit. Oh, it smells like strawberries. The strawberries taste like, okay, don't go there. All right, and then I'm gonna go over it with this brown color. Meant to do that. That was on purpose. And I kind of have to do it quick because this stuff is going to dry because I got the fan on. Cool. So I'm just kind of dusting it on with the brush, the makeup brush. It actually is definitely looks, it kind of actually looks like sand, which totally works for me. Oh, more on the edges there though. There we go. Oh yeah, much better. Don't worry, I'm gonna do close-up shots of everything when it's all like said and done. But it's just, I just added some like color to it, some like little bit of it's like a tan brown and some shimmer, which was exactly what I wanted for that one. So it's perfect. I have like a sticky adhesive spray that I use for like stencils and other magical things such as those. And I don't want to use that because, first of all, it would take a million years for it to not be sticky anymore. And it would also not mix very well with my brushes. I feel like it would be kind of a bitch to get it off, whereas this is a makeup product. If you're not familiar with Jeffree Star, his products are very expensive. But I actually bought this. It's a Morphe collab that he did. And the whole reason I'm telling you that is, yes, it seems expensive, probably if you know who that is. But it doesn't work very great for makeup. So here we are. We're using it for this. My Frankenstein is over there. I'm doing this on a work night, and my mind is already in like a million other directions. I know it's probably kind of hard to tell, but it's very dark now. And before it was very, very bright. So now I think for this one, let's try to do something kind of in the middle here. Why don't you? Oh, YouTube be trying to sue people. I'm much too new to complain too much about YouTube, so I'm just gonna keep my opinions to myself. But I do have them. This is actually working really well. Like I said, I'll do a close-up with these as well so you can see kind of what they actually look like. And right now what I'm doing is I did a little bit of like a black shimmer that I had. And then I did like a little bit of a, like a, I don't know what this color is. Dirt. I don't know. It's like a gray brown. It's a flat color, no shimmer. And then there's just like deep amber, silver, like goldy, kind of like both all together. I don't know. It's a very pretty color. Anyway, so I'm just kind of smoothing it all around. Yeah. I think this is going to be great. I think this is going to turn out really good. On this huge ass spot. I got interrupted. When you're in a train of thought for something and you get interrupted, it becomes completely derailed. So, alright, that's those. Now, here's the thing. I have more of this silicone rubber stuff, so if I absolutely just completely fuck this up, I'll just redo it right after this, and then I'll let it sit for the full 12 to 24 and maybe 36, just to be sure. So it just has like the one corner of it, which I think is super weird. Toddler. But I think it'll work. You know what? YOLO, right? I do think I'm missing my tool that I need to pull this out of here, though. Let me find that really quick. Be right back. And we're back. I found it. Again, we don't really know how this is gonna turn out, so we're gonna hope for the best. I'm really curious. So this should be completely set now, right? My strings are good. Cool. Still looks very loose, which is good. I didn't want it to look, but I'm wondering. Oh yeah, these are gonna pop. I think the seashells are gonna look really good on it. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I have no idea how to do this. My editing partner is like, this is what you should do first, probably. Like in his head as he's looking at this, he's like, girl, get your shit together. Yeah, so the corners are still kind of... Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't want that many big ones, right? I do know that I want a decent amount of little ones. So I'm going to take my little tray like this. I'm going to take the sharp end of my fondant cutouts, and I'm just going to shove them in it and see what happens. Ready? Go. Set it over there. Ooh, not in that corner, bitch. Ewy. Okay. And then I'm gonna... Do I have anything heavy I could even put... Oh, my cup, I guess. This shit is so solid. Like, yeah, it's not working. Okay, so realistically speaking, I wasn't going to wait until it was this dry. I just kind of got stuck doing that. So I think we're going to have to redo this part, which is fine. I kind of anticipated I'd have to redo something, so not too surprising there. Anybody else completely over summer? Summer is, you know, it's just not my jam. I respect it as apparently something we have to have, but I don't like it. On the plus side, there are some really good like summer movie, like horror movies, and there's some good stuff coming out this summer. I have wooden sticks. I don't know where they are, so we're just gonna use the end of a paintbrush and vigorously mix it, which is what they previously suggested. And I thought, oh, it'll be fine. I wonder if that's why it got so hard. Okay, so leave that there. Let that sit in the water so it doesn't get disgusting, or well, too disgusting. And I'm wondering if I can put this like this, because this is very sticky. I'm wondering if I can just set this in here, and maybe it'll like stay. I have no idea. Like, I'm hoping. No, boo. That ain't gonna work. Fuck. I mean, shoot. If I do it like that, it'll work. But I'm just not convinced it'll stay. I feel like it's gonna leak if I do it that way. Alright, you know what? At this point. I have no idea. Okay. So if this method, I guess, doesn't work, all I did this time was I shoved the cutouts into the sticky substance that was left from the first time and then poured it directly into the thing. We'll see if that works. The only thing is I don't have anything to release it, so it's very possible that they won't come out of the plastic. But it is very hard. Like, if it gets hard like the other stuff, then it may just pop right out. I do have some tools and stuff I can use to get at least hopefully enough out, but if I can't salvage it and I have to redo it, I'll probably redo it off camera, and then if I find a method that works, I'll share what that method is. In the meantime, while we're kind of letting that chill for a second, I mostly just want to check to see if it all comes out from under it, because they're open on both sides. But yeah, so let's find my bobby pin marks. Okay, so I want this to be the front. Okay, so my knitting and everything looks really cool. I'll do a close-up after I hot glue these. Everything is gross. Okay. Don't want anything to get too disgusting. Ooh, does it smell like strawberry too? It does. Alright, anyway. Alright, so these are good to go. I'm curious if there's going to be any fallout. The eyeshadow isn't really coming off that much, which is good. I mean, I'm not going to be like Genie in the lamp over here with it, but it'll be, you know, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so this is going to be the front. I kind of, maybe I should do the big one that's got the... You know what actually I'm going to do? I'm going to hot glue the two circular looking ones. But I didn't paint the back of this one, and I just realized that probably no matter where I put this, you're going to be able to see that stark ass white, and I don't really like that. Alright, so that's kind of a big one. So what I'll do is I'll put, maybe this little skinny mini. So I've got my different various types of netting. I've got more space here. So I'm going to do my tinier one here. And it has like the inside of it is open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it. Let's see. Wait, I lost my spot here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to fill the inside because I've got a giant glue gun now, thank God. And I'm going to just make it like a big patch so it'll fill it out. Fun fact, I used to have like a mini one. Oh, God. And it was like the weirdest. It took so long to do anything with that. I mean, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. It got me through some shit. It had seen some craft things, right? But also, it was super freaking annoying because I had to change the sticks like all the time, and it took longer to fill stuff, and I had to hurry up because part of that is because it didn't, I mean, like it dried really quickly. So it was like this huge thing. Anyway, I'm done complaining about my miniature gun. Okay, so I got my first one on. And is there anything on this? Cool. I just wanted to scoop up this hot glue that I spilled. It's already kind of dry, but I just don't want to like stick my face in it. Okay. Anyway, okay, so I've got some unraveling. That's fine, bitch. We about to glue. We gonna fix your problem right now. So let me fix that. Yeah, I think that, I don't know if I've ever played a game successfully that had sharks in it. I think every time I've ever tried, someone has had to kind of like, well, I'm just gonna be honest, beat it for me. Or, you know, at least that part of it, because I'm just like, I can't. Cool. All right. So one thing I am probably going to end up doing, it depends on how much glue gets dripped or whatever. I may go back with black paint and paint over the pieces of glue that you can see. If I think it's, you know, if I think it's too much. May not be. We'll see how it goes. Okay. I'm going to let that one dry a little bit longer. So I'm going to do this one now. I picked it up weird, so I just kind of went with it. I keep losing. Okay, so it's more centered. Wait. Okay, this is the front. I was like, oh no, I already messed up. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to put kind of on this side. This one has a flat surface. So I'm not gonna, so the side that I did the eyeshadow on, I'm gonna leave facing outward, obviously. So then the blue is the part that I'm gonna glue to this. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna work out just great. I mean, I guess like if I had to say what worst case looks like, worst case, I just buy some fucking scales and just, you know, be really upset about it for a long time. Fun fact, this crown is a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be, which is fine. It's perfect, like I'm obsessed with it, but it's just very heavy. So when I keep trying to pick it up one-handed, it's like I keep forgetting that it's heavy. Cool. Okay, well, super impressed with this part so far. Minus the spiders from the glue gun. Okay. So my other shell should be dry. Yeah, there's none coming off. It's still a little damp, but I think it'll be fine. So for this one, I'm going to do the netting because it's got like this big piece hanging. So I'm just going to be like, and like stick it. That sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah, because I don't want to put it on the shell and then fuck up my placement. So that's what we're going to do. I watch a lot of videos of people who are like super into cosplays, and I am always like, and I mean into it like They don't buy their stuff. They like make it. Like that girl that spent like 2 years or however many hours, I forgot, making that Iron Man costume or whatever, like legit, like, and I watch their videos and I'm just like, oh my God, so impressive. All right, cool. So one of the other things I am going to do though, when I do the blood and stuff on my face, I am going to spackle is the word I was going to use. Splatter, that's the one. I'm going to splatter some blood on these shells as well. So I'm going to come closer for just a second and show you what I have so far. And that is our crown. So the crown is done until, you know, until the final day where we do the makeup and everything else, and I'll add a little bit of blood to it. The blood mixture that I use makes a decent amount. I don't want to make it and have to remake it and waste it. So I'll just do like the splattering and stuff of that later. I'm fixing to check my molds. Because honestly, if they only go halfway, that's actually kind of what I was going for anyway. So, okay. So yeah, so it came out, but it looks like, oh, I think this is going to work. So I'm going to leave this to dry and we'll pick back up when this is figured out. And we have scales, right? They turned out pretty good. This was attempt number 2. So the last thing that you saw with me attempting to accomplish this was the successful one. Gonna guess it's probably not how the professionals do it, but here we are. So what I'm gonna do in this part is I'm gonna pluck them off, and I'm gonna take my X-Acto and I'm gonna cut them because they're very thick. And then after that, I'm gonna paint them. And I think that's gonna wrap up this part of the video for the first video, and then the second part will be everything together. I did notice, I'm not super happy that this is so droopy. So I am gonna go back and like hot glue this higher up. But I'm gonna do that after I get these out of this dish. Once I remember. All right, so the big ones, so one of them I did upside down and one of them was not upside down. So the not upside down one did fine, and they're coming like right apart, which is perfect. And then the other one I had to do the other way to make them both fit because I'm impatient. So I'm probably gonna have to cut those out, which is fine. All right, so they're all cut out. They're really gross. So I think when I did this the first time, I probably should have cleaned the container out before doing it again. Because the bottom like already had like a sticky consistency and it stayed that way. Which is fine. It just made it a little grosser to work on these. I'm going to wash them off. But first, there is a little bit more cleanup I'm going to do. So I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. So I washed them off with soap and water. I'm just gonna wipe this off so I don't have to worry about like getting them gross again. All right, so my next piece of this adventure is going to be, because these are so dense, they're quite thick. I'm going to cut them into, I don't know, halves? Let's see, what would half look like? Half would be, yeah, half is probably about right. So I'm going to cut them in half, and we're going to hope I don't cut myself in the process. Before I start to paint them, I'm going to go ahead and redo my little seashell over here. I'm just not happy with how low it is. It looks, well, hot glued on something it doesn't belong on, so I'd like to try to get it off of the, try to make it stick up here a little bit more, which I'm not even really sure how to accomplish that, if I'm being honest. That's better. It's just up a little bit higher. That's the only thing I did. I just didn't like how droopy it looked. It looked like it was about to fall off. It wasn't, but it looked like it was going to. All right, so to start these, ugh, so many. What's a good size for all of them? This one's probably a little too big. Let's see. All right. So let's see. I'm going to take my hook, gently place it into the bottom, and try not to go all the way through. The goal is to just have it sit. So I can paint it without like having to hold it. And here we go.